Hey everyone, Will here with my flea market finds for February 2nd, 2020. Kind of interesting, the date reads the same front to back or back to front. I saw a story that last time that happened it was 900 years ago, so I guess it'll be a while before that happens again. But I missed last week. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff to show you guys, but got a few interesting pieces this week. Let's take a look. First up, I'm really on the fence about this one. It wasn't cheap. Got it for $45 actually. But Dee-Lite World Click, and Dee-Lite was the band they had to hit back in 1990. Truth is in the Heart. Yeah, when I first thought this, I thought maybe this was a jacket from their tour, or maybe it's just somebody that really liked the band and just made it up themselves. I haven't really done any research on it. They did a good job, but you can see it's definitely not something that was mass produced. So, but I didn't want to leave it there, so I bought it. Might strike out on this one, might hit a home run. It's one of those really not sure. Got a bunch of Jim Shore. It's still in the box. Well, they've been out of the box, but they put them back in. So hopefully everything's intact. Jim Shore, Heartwood Creek, statue, black cat with pump. Must be a fountain. This revolving carousel, lighted musical, and this is Sleigh Bells Ring, set of 6 sleigh with hanging ornaments. Bought this sight unseen, $40 for everything. So, like I said, hopefully it's all intact. It should sell well since it still has the box. Got a lot of military stuff. Just bought the whole duffel bag. $25. I was hoping there was something hidden in there. The guy told me what was in there, but I was hoping there might be a little extra, but no. So I got the duffel bag. This is a little half shelter and a helmet shell, M1 helmet shell. Nothing great. It's got the seam here is to the rear, and it looks like a sand finish, which probably Korea, I'm guessing, maybe Vietnam era. I like the duffel bag the most. Got the guy's name on there, and he sent it back to himself. ETS. Wonder what ETS is. 7th of June 1968, so Vietnam era. So you just know this guy, he probably had some kind of something hidden in here that he shouldn't. Maybe a 45 or disassembled carbine. I bet there was something in there he sent back to himself. Last week I bought an entire lot of Fenton glass, sight unseen. Guy showed up and he started unpacking it out of this big bin, and he's like, I'm gonna hate to unpack all this stuff. Everything was wrapped up. Yeah, I saw the first couple pieces he pulled out, so I'm like, well, give me a price on the whole bin, and you don't have to unpack it. So $100 for the entire bin, and it's all really good Fenton pieces. Now, Fenton's nowhere as collectible as it used to be back in the 90s, but there's still collectors out there. We actually started listing a lot of the stuff already, and there must have been about 50 or 60 pieces in there. A lot of smaller pieces such as this, a few larger pieces. This is a nice one. This is a President's Collection. A lot of numbered, limited edition pieces. Should do really well with that. Got a lot of watchers already. We just listed. They're in my jewelry store, not my regular store. I'll put the links in the description. One piece of jewelry to show you. Kind of interesting. It was $10. I don't know if that's if they were going for. Oh, this looks like letters, but I'm not quite sure. Neat looking piece. It's sterling, marked with a star and S. But horse stuff always sells well. Paid $10 for that. Not quite sure what we'll put on it. This is kind of neat. It's a magnifier from Boeing. $2 on that. Space stuff always does well. The wife got herself a couple of these little paper punches. $2 a piece. I got a whole box of these decorative knobs. The neat thing is that we got 3 door knobs, closet knobs, and a whole bunch of coordinated drawer pulls. Be good for a girl's room. $20 for the whole box. Gonna put a high price on that. Maybe try like $100 for everything and see what happens. Might even be good for a girl's nursery. I thought this was pretty neat. Bought it for myself. Just plug it in. It winds back up. Gives you 4 outlets. $5 on that. Like I said, for myself. The t-shirt's kind of cool. 1993 Tony Award nominees. It's still in the wrap. And it's got the paper in the back, which tells you all the signatures on here. But for $3, I mean, it's so unique. Had to go with it. Check out the picture. This is a real oddity. Obviously baseball related. But if you notice, they all have different jerseys on. Was this like an all-star game? I wish this guy wasn't wearing a sweater, because if you notice, I see the L and a T. I bet that says Baltimore on his jersey. Holding the bat. Boy, how neat would it be to have the bat to go with this picture? Time period, early 1900s, maybe late 1800s, I would say. Nothing on the back. Got it for $10. But being sports related, it's just really cool. Somebody into old time baseball is going to love this piece. Needs a good frame. More pictures. Got a whole album for $8. Some really neat pictures in here. Let me go over them with you. Best of all, they got some notes in here. Taken by Mary Lee Shore on Friday 3/14/41 at Mobile, Alabama. Dorothy and the Headless Muscle Man. Some nice family Neat car shot right there. The Zoom Club. Unfortunately, dining and dancing nightly. Missing the photo. It's probably in here somewhere. Take a look at the car. Is that? It's pretty cool. It's got the starts with a S. I'm not quite sure what it is. There's they were in the military. 1950s Soldiers Permanent Pass. Out on the lake. Just a old dog photo. But I think it should do well. We'll just do them all together. There's another look at that. I'd love to have that car now. Convertible. At least you can tell that they really liked it. Recap. It's a ball cap reconditioning system. I know there's a lot of guys out there who love their ball caps. Got that for $6. Jim Shore. It lights up. You can change the card in the back. Looks like it's brand new. Got a lot of brand new stuff from this one place. I think they might have been a hoarder. Some shoes. $20. Might keep them for myself, or my son might like them. I don't know. New Balance might be considered an old man shoe now. But brand new in the box. Can't beat them. This was a good one. Danbury Mint Christmas tree, and this was never used. Still got the styrofoam there. They broke the seal on it to open it up. Paid $55 for this. Looked them up on Worth Point. They're bringing somewhere around $150, $200. So might price it high, and we'll see how it does. Even though it's Christmas, it's still Coca-Cola and Danbury Mint, and both those things sell really well. So should be no problem at all. And best of all, it's easy to ship. Just put the styrofoam back on, tape it up, put a label on it. Interestingly, they put a label in here to send it back to the Danbury Mint, but never went through with sending it. But I checked it over; it's all there. Should work fine. Last couple pieces to show you. Give you a little background history. My parents, back in the late 70s and 80s, loved stained glass, and they would save up their money, and when they get enough money, they'd go out and they'd get a piece made. Sometimes they'd find a lamp base that they really liked at the flea market and take it to the stained glass guy, and he'd custom make a shade to go with the lamp base. We still have just about all those pieces. It's really good stuff. The guy that did the stained glass is John Henry Miller, and when I saw these at the local antique shop, I knew right away this was John Henry's work. John Henry was quite the man. I remember him, even though it's been a long time, I still remember him well. I remember I was impressed as a kid. He was always doing different stuff, and he even built his own satellite dish. He was very smart, very talented. But one thing that always jumps out when you see a piece of John Henry Miller's stained glass is the solder lines, and they are all absolutely uniform. The gap is always consistent. Nothing like those mass-produced pieces of stained glass you see at the department stores, where they can have huge gaps in the stained glass. He took his time. He made sure to pick out the right pieces of glass to go with whatever he was making. I have a lot of good memories. He had a little workshop off of Route 1 here in Maryland. And we would go into a shop, and Mom and Dad would bring him a piece, and they'd sit around and talk for a long time about the design that they wanted to do, and it's just it was quite the process. So they had 60 on this, 40 on that, and I got them both for 90. One little condition issue here. Oh, and the thing about John Henry Miller's work is he always signed his pieces, and it's not always the easiest to find. John Henry Miller. And over here, right there, it's there, John H. Miller. His stuff doesn't come up very often, and actually probably local people would, well, he was here until, he stayed in the Baltimore area till the late 80s, then he moved out to Wyoming and continued to do stained glass out there. I forget when he died. It's all from memory, but high quality work. So I think somebody's really going to enjoy these. It's one of those things that's hard to price. Somebody that knows John Henry, I think would be willing to pay really good money for these, because you just can't find his stuff. I mean, I've been looking for years, and these are the first two pieces of his I found. So price-wise, I'm going to price it extremely high. Maybe like 600 on this, 300 on that, and just kind of sit back and see what happens. Chances are it'll be a local pickup, because local people will know who he is, but you never know. I did find a few of his pieces on Worth Point, but nothing up to this level. There was a couple wall sconces that went for like 175 or something like that, but nothing like this piece. I remember my mom and dad had a piece similar to this, and they always liked getting red. So they got red going around. John Henry didn't use too much red because it was very expensive glass. You had to request it a lot. I think because they use they put a little bit of gold in with the glass to give it that sparkle. So Mom was cleaning her lamp one day, and spinning it, cleaning it, and didn't realize she was unscrewing it at the same time, and it almost fell. So the next time she was in, we saw John Henry. She told him this, and it was funny. Every piece after that, he made so that they swiveled around without unscrewing, so she could clean them. So there we go. Keep an eye on my store, Terminal 99, and my other store. I'll put links in the description where you can go to. So till next time, this is Will Yard Sales Survivalist. we'll talk again soon.